Today we're going to take a look at Tesla stock and try to come up with a fair value by calculating an internal rate of return for the next years. Today the stock price remains flat, but over the past month it is down 25%. Although the company just had a very interesting event where they showed off a humanoid robot, and I was actually a little bit surprised to see so much criticism for the event, as I think this robot is a great idea to vertically integrate the products that Tesla has already developed, like the batteries from the cars, the sensors and the vision. They can even use the same manufacturing process and the AI they have already developed. For me personally, it seems like a smart idea with a lot of synergies. Just imagine Amazon using those robots for their warehouses. And I mean, at one point they will definitely use robots for this kind of job. So I would recommend you take a closer look at AI Day if you haven't already. Let's get back to Tesla's stock performance. You can see it's down nearly 50% from its all-time high. So it seems to me like it's a great time to take a closer look at Tesla's earnings. They will release their Q3 earnings next week. They slightly missed analysts' estimates with the vehicles they delivered, but overall we saw high growth. Deliveries are up 42.5% year over year. Currently, Tesla is trading at a PE ratio of 80, which seems very high, but with that kind of growth, we can see that the forward PE is already much lower with 37. We can also see that Tesla has a huge market cap with around 700 billion. The revenue per share increased every year, which is exactly what we want to see. We gotta have that top line revenue growth. Earnings per share and free cash flow have been negative in the past, but since 2019 and 2020 they managed to get positive, which is also something I really like to see. For valuation, let's also take a look at the annual growth rates. In the past 5 years, revenue grew nearly 50% year over year, and earnings grew 114% year over year. I don't know a lot of companies where we see annual growth rates that high. And it's especially impressive to keep growing at this rate for over 10 years. Now let's get into valuation. We can also see analysts' estimates for revenue and free cash flow growth. And of course, they expect the company to keep growing at a very fast rate, which is exactly what we want to see. The number of shares outstanding has been steadily increasing over time, but I believe this will slow down over the next years. I will do 3 different scenarios, and I think all of those scenarios are possible. It's up to you to decide whether or not you believe that Elon Musk and Tesla will underdeliver or if they will beat expectations. By the way, leave a comment what you think Tesla's growth rates will be in the future. For our normal case scenario, we have analysts' estimates until 2025, and from there on I steadily decrease the year-over-year growth as our projections get more and more uncertain. This gives us a 10.4% internal rate of return, which is already a market-beating return in the low double digits. But we have just seen that Tesla has been able to grow revenue with 50% year over year in the last 5 years. Therefore, one could argue that the normal case scenario is too bearish. And you can see that with the higher growth rates, we could potentially get an internal rate of return of over 15%. Keep in mind that this is a return you would get every single year, and it would more than triple your money until 2030. For the worst case scenario, I decreased the growth rate a little bit faster, and you can see in this case we could still get a positive return, but only 4.5%. If we combine our 3 different scenarios, we could get an internal rate of return of 10.6%, which is a market-beating return. I always want to see the IRR be in the double digits. I was actually very surprised to get such a high internal rate of return from Tesla, as the stock has performed so well in the past. When it comes to deciding whether the stock is a buy or not, this highly depends upon the rate you think Tesla will be able to grow. But I absolutely understand everybody who says that Tesla is a great investment for the future. This has been a valuation of Tesla stock. If you are interested to see more stock valuations, feel free to subscribe to the channel.